welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Big Brother 23.
Welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of our multiple intros.
Listen, I can't get it together tonight. Listen, I'm having issues. Okay, I apologize ahead of time. I didn't hit the button. I hit the intro. I didn't hit go live, but I had hit go live twice. So this almost didn't happen at all. And then I accidentally, hey, I can't. Anyway, welcome everyone. Beth is with me as always, and Matthew, pretty much as always. Everybody here tonight. I'm sorry, I'm a little under. I've had a double ear infection all week. I got antibiotics.
How's your ear doing? How you feeling?
I can hear now, and I can actually put earbuds in.
Hey,
so it's just been nuts. So the antibiotics, we all know what those do to you. So kind of flush you out, kind of like Christian was flushed out.
Of the royal flush.
Of the royal flush.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do you like how I... Well, anyway.
That just reminded me of, there is a TikTok of this husky singing, going, ah, rah, 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 rah.
I get enough of my own dog noises that I don't need to.
He literally goes at the very end, and it's so funny. Rah, rah, rah.
I thought the edibles hadn't hit yet.
Yes, they hadn't. I haven't. They just went down the pipe.
I hear ya. Well, guys, spoiler. Why are you even here this early? We're not even 3 minutes in. It's already train wreck. No one can take their eyes off of. DX was HOH. He nominated Sarah Beth and Bertini. Bertini won the veto. And before we go any further, I need personally, as a woman, to address the veto competition and how much I appreciate Big Brother and that competition, because I thoroughly I've never wished to be a pair of gym shorts before in my life, but I found myself very envious of Kyland's pants during that whole competition. I really wanted to be a pair of gym shorts.
That's how I feel about that Jackass costume.
I would.
I also want Kyland inside of me.
I've never wanted to have sex with an animal until I saw him in the Jackass outfit. Now here we sit, Beth. It's a menage a trois. Well, I don't know what to call it. I vote to schwa. Anyway, so Bertini wins the veto, and boy, we heard about that all week, did we not? On the feeds, just walking around with it glowing like God is shining his ray of God Jesusness on the veto.
Are we sure Brittany is not a Leo? Because I swear that would have been me.
It would have been me.
I would have been me. If I had won the power of on the block, you bet your ass I would have worn that around the house.
It would never come off.
But I will also say that's because, Matthew, you happen to also be a fire sign. So Sagittarius, Aries, Leo would have been like, look at me in all my glory. I won the veto and the rest of you are suckers and losers and awful people. Oh, you know what? Adrian Celeste says she's a Gemini. That is close enough.
I'm just a Pisces, so I don't know. I think we just desperately need attention all the time. That's why I started this channel.
Are very emotional with their water signs. So yeah, you're pretty much on it.
You need validation in
constantly,
but like in an emotional sense. We need it in like a ego sense.
So I have a YouTube channel.
I'm the perfect middle because I'm a Pisces moon, so I get both my fire and my water.
Well, Bertini wins the veto, and then we have the drama that unfolds, and they're giving the casuals, like my father, a heart attack, making them wait till tonight. Of 24 hours to see if Derrick X used the veto, and Bertini, of course, did. Like, that was suspenseful. I have decided to use the power of veto on myself. Okay, Bertini, sit down. So, and then he puts up Christian, and after they tried to corner him before the veto meeting, all of it personally, I know a lot of people, it's not a popular opinion, but I wanted Christian to go. He is a comp beast. He is a threat. He's not someone that I personally physically could beat. So I would want him out. But I know Derrick's got a lot, I just hope that I don't know.
I mean, Derrick X moves up to the number one comp winner of the season now that Christian is gone.
Well, let's show, because Tyler puts a lot of work into these little things, so I've got to show them or I get in trouble. This week I'm showing the right one, because last week I didn't show the right one. So Team Allison is Claire. That'll probably be that way for another month. Tyler, of course, is the only one that has a team still intact, and we're going to probably hear about that for another month. And, Beth, you lost Christian tonight.
So here's what's fun. I actually am looking at my team, and I really think that my team is in the order that they will remain. I think Azah will outlast Tiffany, who will outlast Derrick F, who outlasted Christian. Like, I think that's the order in which they get eliminated if we were to think about the dynamics of the house right now.
Yeah.
Can I make a bold prediction with that chart?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll pull it back.
I think Beth will be the first person to lose her entire team.
I agree with that. I agree
because
wholeheartedly.
I think your team is going to cannibalize itself.
Yeah, and I'm here for it. I actually don't care if I win this. I'm like so here for just like the chaos. Like I tweeted it out tonight. I'm gonna say something that may come as kind of a shock to people. Yes! And here's the thing. I'm really not a big Derrick fan. I thought I was gonna love him the first week. I was like, yes, Derrick. But I honestly find him very condescending and misogynistic. I have a lot of issues with him. However, I will say I've gotten to the point where I'm not even rooting for anybody anymore.
Same.
That's because this season is so good that you can sit back and say, I honestly don't care what happens because shit is just happening and I'm here for this. I gladly too. He didn't even evoke this time. Tonight he evoked a feeling.
He's evoking the
I evoked Christian, and I was like,
he was hooked on a
bitch,
feeling.
how do you do that?
How do you do that? I just
don't sleep on Derrick F. I've been saying it for 2 weeks.
I agree. I haven't been here for 2 weeks, but I'm with you on this journey, Allison. I totally agree. I think that everybody looks at him as, oh, that's going to be the easy person to get out once the cookout is just at the final 6. Bitch, the cookout is not going to get to the final 6. It's going to blow up this week. This coming week is happening.
I would bet good money that one of the 6 of them leave, and it's probably going to be Tiffany.
I don't know if
she does
it'll
not
be
win
Tiffany.
HOH.
What do you guys think? Like, let's just from the outside looking in where we are right now, just from what they showed tonight, they did not paint a pretty picture of Tiffany in tonight's episode.
Mm-hmm.
If I hadn't been watching the feeds or anything, I would have seen her as kind of a pushy bully type.
Which she has been even on the feeds.
Yeah,
too. Like this has been a very villainous in a good way.
In a
kind
good
of
way,
week for her.
They made it look bad because she goes to Brittany and she's like, "You better tell him," or and then she evokes for Brittany in the HOH room, and Azah and Derrick F are like, if we're all on the same page, we all need to be in there together, which I personally don't think they're wrong about. And they could have been part of that conversation if we're all on the same page and we're all going the same way. And I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm like voguing.
Were you watching a lot of rhythmic gymnastics last week?
Man, I tell you what, I want to get on a balance beam and just live life. You know what I mean? Just put on a tard.
If you went up on a balance beam and just did this back and forth,
I just dubstepped or what's it called?
Allison's going to vogue on the balance beam and do that for her Olympic routine. There will be no flips, no twists. It's just her voguing and like spinning.
What's it called?
Dubstep?
I don't know.
Music.
Oh, then what's this called?
Voguing?
Well, it looks like you're trying to dab.
Oh, it's dabbing. Okay. Well, y'all, I'm 44 years old. What do you want from me? Excuse
I
me.
want for you to not do that again.
Okay, I'm gonna stop, but I'm gonna keep doing this like I'm Madonna. Okay.
I'm going to also say something. This is brave of me to say as a podcast host covering one of the best seasons that we've seen of Big Brother. I am learning with
Does
this
it need to
season.
be ASMR?
Oh, I can do this ASMR.
Do it.
I am finding that I actually am not as invested in Big Brother as I thought I once was, because I don't care to watch the episodes except for Thursday night. I only want to watch what's happening on the feed / what people are saying and tweets. And then I want to watch Thursday, and then I want to talk shit. And that's all I want to do. But the season makes it really easy. Sam Hickman
probably just got himself banned from the
Damn it, he's in high school. Can we give him that?
No.
Madonna is timeless.
No.
I was just trolling her Instagram today, thinking to seriously, that's why I was her her cheeks are unbelievably full of voluma and all kinds of stuff, and it looks really alien, unnatural. It looks like prosthetics, and she's about to be in a Marvel film, the next Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
As a side note, Jay Cloud in the chat just says, why does Derrick F get a gay pass? Would one of the other guys get away with calling Tiffany a bitch and not get slaughtered on social media? First of all, I don't know who you're following on social media. All I see, and this is probably just a reflection of who I follow, are people slaughtering him on social media for calling Tiffany a bitch. Because he's not calling her like, hey, bitch. That's a different thing. When you call someone like, hey, bitch, or whatever, that you're not doing it in a derogative way. He is straight up misogynistic in calling her a actual bitch.
I would agree. I follow slightly different people than Beth, and I would say of my Big Brother following, he's not getting a gay pass.
Well, I don't think you should get I don't think he should get a gay pass for that. I just think sometimes he's just fed up. And as you saw tonight, I can understand why. He is on the outside. He doesn't see everything that we see that's going on. Mm-hmm. And he's just telling it from what he sees. And he's tired of it. He feels like she's running the show and she's telling everyone what to do. And he's over it. And he's starting to stir it up a little bit, as we saw tonight with that whole HOH drama, acting like a bodyguard with Azah. I don't really know. And Azah, let's just be honest, Azah kind of started that. Did she not? Going, excuse me, who wants? She's like a Christian. Who wants?
Oh, in that situation,
yeah. Just that, and I was
wrong. They're not wrong.
No.
Good for them.
I would have done the same thing if we're all on the same page. Why we have to have a super secret chat conversation?
Can I also ask a question?
Sure.
Is it not weird that people who are not the HOH are using the HOH room to have private conversations?
Thank you, and make out.
HOH?
And make out and do all, why it's Derrick's HOH. You're having conversations about flipping his what he wants. Where is Derrick? I mean, look, I know he ain't guarding the bathroom that much. I know he's not the Lord of the Latrine. If somebody's got a problem, they got to piss all day. Excuse me. No.
That just feels so weird to me. If I was the HOH and there were 6 people in my bedroom.
I'm not down with that.
One of those 6 people.
Yeah.
I'm Samming the shit out of that from Big Brother a couple of years ago. Y'all remember Sam, the robot? Mm-hmm. No, nobody is in the HOH. I got the key around my neck. No, you want to go in there? I'm going to be in there. That's a respect thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
But that kind of falls on Derrick, though, too.
Yeah, it does.
It does. I do want to just quickly go back to the whole DF calling women bitches and such.
Yeah.
And I want to praise Xavier this week for calling out Derrick. And he did take him off to the side, and they were having a conversation about something. And Derrick, I can't remember. I think he was talking about Tiffany and said, that bitch, blah, 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 blah. And Xavier stopped him and said, first of all, you got to stop that.
Yeah.
You got to stop the jokes. You got to stop calling women bitches. It's not okay. It's not cute. And we're not going to continue to work together if that's how you're going to treat people. I mean, like, that was basically what he said. Props to him for doing that. We need more allies in every sense of the word, allies who are going to step up and do those kind of things. So that was really great. In terms of where he's positioned in the game, I have always said that if you are at the bottom of an alliance, you are in the best place going into jury if you know how to use that position to get yourself into the middle. I truly think that, and I know that, first of all, Tyler wrote us a friggin' essay of things he wants us to read out tonight, which we have not gotten to. But I agree with him with one part, which is that the Jokers had a missed opportunity this week, which was to save Christian, use him, and start to go after other people. Like, could you imagine if they had the strategic capital for the three of them to work with at the very end, not tell anybody and go, all right, we know that Alyssa and X are going to vote for Sarah Beth. We're going to flip it. We're going to vote for Sarah Beth, but not tell anybody. And then they could show Tiffany for who she is. Then they could like flip on Claire. Like, that would just have been the best place for them to be. And they could have like worked that middle and let everybody go after each other. It would have been so smart.
Right. Y'all continue. I'm going to pull up his essay.
I guess I'm the fortunate one. I don't get access to the essays.
Yeah.
I get nothing.
It's long. Henning, how do you feel about, do you think for DX, Christian was the right person to go?
Because he put him up as a backdoor, you have to get rid of him. I would not have backdoored him now.
I wouldn't have either. Why are you getting rid of the one other person who's beat people in comps other than yourself? Now you're the number one comp target. That's my thought.
Like the thing on top of it is backdoors pre-jury right before the end of jury says, I'm ready to take control of something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I don't need 11 other people, well, 10 other people knowing I'm ready to make these kind of moves against my alliance of 8. Is the Royal Flush 8? I lost track of how many people were actually in the alliance.
I don't even know how many people are in the house right now. Okay.
I think there's approximately 34. Oh, wait, no, that's the challenge.
There's like no way to read this without it. Oh my God, Tyler.
Just read out point by point all the points that Tyler.
There's no way.
We're going to call this Tyler's Corner.
Hold on. No, I've already called it Tyler's essay. Hold on a second.
Well, maybe if Tyler wanted an essay read, Tyler should have showed up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get his ass on. I'm about to get his ass on the phone and just make him read it.
I'll read it. I'll read it quickly.
I honestly disagree with Tyler when he said this was the best move for Derrick X. It really isn't. It really isn't.
I don't think it is.
Like, if he wants to be the more low-key player, like he doesn't want to be the center of attention, you don't make a move like this.
Tyler says he can come on.
Tyler, no. I've already said
I want Tyler to only come on to read the thing he took meticulous time to like write out. And
no. You're right. But I want to read it because he took the time.
I want him to join the call, but have you read it and then just have him leave afterwards. Be like, bye, Tyler.
Just leave him on like forced mute and be like,
okay, here's what we're gonna do. Hold on a second. Allison's gonna act like she knows how to share her screen for a minute. Guys, this is what I'm working with. So hold on a second.
You better make sure that you scroll past your nudes that you put in the. I'm just kidding.
Everybody loves the nudes.
Okay,
what are you
Allison,
talking about?
You want to look at that comment that Pokemon just put in the chat?
What did he put? Tyler should come on.
No, above that. Please come on, Tyler. You are the best part of the show.
We said that basically twice in there.
Yeah.
Listen.
Okay, can y'all see this?
It's loading. I can see it. I can't.
I can't read that though.
You'd have to unhighlight it.
Do you guys see what I'm working with? Do you see it?
Jesus Christ.
This is Tyler's essay. There are 11 points. Oh, it keeps going. Okay. There are 11 points.
My favorite part is that Tyler in the chat just lied to everybody and said, it's not long. It's organized. First of all, it is organized. It doesn't look like it is there.
It's very organized, but like, look, like I've got to do shit like this because it's like from Facebook. Like, this is what I'm dealing. I should have done this.
Oh, okay. Now I can see how it's okay.
Okay, so
please don't block me. We're not going to block you. Don't worry, Pokemon.
Pokemon, we love you. Listen,
no. We need to make sure at least one person likes Tyler in the chat. You know,
yeah, because he needs you to validate him because that's how he is. If he's
I don't see any footnotes or source citations, so I don't find this as an acceptable essay.
Oh, believe me, I will be marking this off.
Does anybody see
resources?
We're number 8.
Where the John and Hannah.
Where the fuck is number 8?
Hey. Says,
get out.
Get
out of here.
Okay, first of all, I did not put it in a Word doc like this, and that font is the ugliest font I've ever seen in my entire life.
I had to put it in a Word document because it was so long and so damn small in that itty bitty little Facebook chat that I had to cut and paste it and put it in a Word document. That's how freaking long it is. Now I can't find the freaking number 8. Where is number 8?
It's right after, see where the word unfortunately that's underlined in blue? Go down and then go right down below it.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Can I read my notes that I had?
No, mute it. Hold on a second. Just let me make
this
it.
This feels like a dissertation and not an essay.
This is
why I need source citation.
I just want everyone to know this podcast has started to go like against each other so quickly. It's like we're the cookout.
We're the cookout. Who am I? Am I Tiffany?
No, I think Tyler's Tiffany.
Yeah, Tyler's definitely Tiffany.
Wait, then who am I?
I feel like
Xavier, because you're quiet.
Yeah. I feel like you're Xavier.
Then who are you, Beth?
I'm probably Azah. No, I think you're Azah, Allison.
Well, because I can see Allison being like, and who's asking, and what is this conversation for?
What happened? What's it doing right now? Do y'all see it moving around?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the notes.
Oh, I have two different responses. Somebody said Beth is Big D, and then somebody said Beth is Hannah. So I'm one of those two.
Well, Tyler, you have great notes here, and I did read them. So I'm gonna read number 1.
Okay.
Oh my God, is this going to turn like in class where we each take a turn reading something?
Let's take a turn.
Listen, it looks long, but like it's just organized by like player in the game. So it's like a very structured, completed thought.
First of all, something's going on with my spell check. Did you misspell ultimately? Hold on a second. Oh my God. Look at this, Grant. Look at the spelling. You've misspelled 10 words. You get a 70.
They're probably proper names.
Our audio listeners on podcasts are like, what in the world are they talking about?
Okay.
Let's read them.
Okay, number 1. Ultimately, I think Derrick X made the right move given the limited information he has on the house dynamic. He has no idea about the cookouts, still all caps, and is targeting the next biggest comp threat to him and someone who nominated Hannah last week.
I disagree only because if you're talking about the reason why I'm putting you up is because you're a competition threat, you automatically have the focus come to you as the second biggest competition threat. So that's why I don't agree with that move.
And I will issue a full concurrence with Beth. This was a boneheaded move.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think he did the right thing by getting rid of Christian. Number 2, ultimately. This is the word of the hashtag ultimately tonight, people. Ultimately and unfortunately.
Put Control F into the chat or into the document.
Ultimately, Christian's downfall. Ultimately, Christian's downfall boils down to not targeting Hannah, but still putting her up and not working on his relationship with DX in the process. With that being said, Christian just simply ran into a lot of bad luck this week. DX is one of the only people who would have targeted him, and Christian wasn't picked to play in the Veto either eye. What is that? Either
I don't know
eye.
I don't know what the eye was about. I
don't know what that's
the eye is
about.
supposed to be in the next. No.
But you know what? This is when you're going to backdoor someone, though. You don't want to give them the opportunity to play in any competition.
Oh,
so
I know.
They might be able to
saying
say
like like yes, like Christian went home this week, but I'm not ready to call him like a bad player by any means. Like he just ran into a lot of like bad circumstance this week.
Okay. Yeah. Number 4.
3.
Oh, number 3. I'm sorry, wishful thinking. Tiffany's being a little too aggressive in her need for control. While she made great connections to DX and Hannah this week, she needs to do a better job supporting the Jokers and making them feel heard, even though they really are on the bottom of the Cookout Alliance.
100%. I also think that there was no reason. I think that honestly, she's somebody that I don't think this is an overt thing. I think this is something that is very subconscious that drives things. I think that she's somebody who can't be bored. And when she's bored, it makes her like second guess everything. And then she goes out and causes chaos without meaning to.
Well, and it's weird because like Sarah Beth did the same exact thing last week, right? Like she was so aggressive with trying to get the target on Hannah and it didn't work. And now like Tiffany's doing the same thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tiffany ends up in the same like really bad position next week. Just because like you're just using way too much of your social capital to get something done that honestly really doesn't make too big of a difference in your game.
And then you didn't even vote for Sarah Beth.
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
Number four. The Jokers had a big opportunity this week and they didn't even realize it. They control who gives. I'm sorry, I can't read. They control who goes home this week. It's really in their best interest that Christian stays and they take out Sarah Beth and have the sides ducking it out.
Duking.
Okay. I can't read. I was about to say you misspelled ducking. But
can I read it for you?
Duking it out against each other while they maintain the mighty middle. Sadly, there should be a comma there. The three of them are just strategically smart enough to get this.
Okay, so what we are learning is that Tyler can't write and Allison can't read.
This is true.
Kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, it's true. Nobody ever asks me to
Tyler
read
can write fine.
Beautifully.
Allison
ultimately
will pass.
Most beautifully written.
Can I take over?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you guys already touched on this. Like, yes, like the Jokers like missed this like big opportunity this week. And it's weird because like they made a huge like public statement in front of Tiffany, in front of Claire that like we are a block together. And then they didn't even exercise that power.
Can I disagree?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'm gonna disagree.
Allowed.
And it's strictly not because it's Tyler, but I'm gonna disagree.
Oh, bullshit.
I think they keep a stronger middle game by not making this big power move.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, they can easily be seen as a group of three, but the longer you stay in the game as that group of three without seeming like you're trying to dictate something is to their benefit.
But they did try to dictate something this week, Matt. And so that like
I don't think you try to dictate something right before jury. This is the wrong time to dictate something.
Yes.
Can we take a pause from this, because there's actually a question I do want to address that's in the chat. Stephen Holden asked, why hasn't Hannah told DX about the cookout? They have a final 2. What's been interesting this week is that Hannah's lost a lot of faith in her final 2 with DX this week. And I thought that was really interesting. And what we saw was her feeling like, why aren't I being more involved in strategic conversations? How come DX is having conversations and not really explaining everything to me? And so I actually think, even though there's a little bit of miscommunication happening between the two of them, I think it's to the benefit of both of their games to have that little bit of being on their toes with somebody that they feel, what are you doing?
I know Allison's like formatting my essay. It's Beth, it's definitely interesting because I feel like Hannah, a lot of alarms were sounded in her mind when she heard about the royal flush and like wasn't told about that from Derrick F. So I don't blame her for not like mentioning the cookout to him. And I also feel like she's worried that he would get upset on like a personal level that like, you know, like an Asian isn't counted in like an alliance of like minority people in the house. So like maybe she's thinking about it from that angle too. But it's like from a gameplay perspective, it's really interesting that like she has had this opportunity like all week long with him as HOH to tell him, and she hasn't.
Yep. And I think that it's going to be really interesting because if she's not the one to tell him and somebody else is, and she really ran the risk of him being HOH and not being told about it this week.
Yeah.
And her not being the one. Like if she doesn't tell. Now, I will say she's the last person that got added to the cookout. And a lot of people, like myself included, for like 3 weeks, we're trying to figure out, does this include Hannah? Does it not? And it really, she got brought in last week when she was on the block and officially. And it is one of those things that I think, again, I think this is weirdly going to be to her benefit in this game, that she was kind of, I'm going to put it out there. I think Hannah's in the best position of the house. Like
I totally agree.
Yeah, she's
far
in a
and
good
away.
position. Yeah.
Her and Xavier.
And no, I think Xavier's in a really good spot too, but they would target him well before they target her now. Or like the right people would save her at the right times. You know what I mean?
Honestly, here's like the thing is, too many people are throwing competitions, and if people don't stop throwing competitions, these people who want this control will never have it.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to run into the feeling of it's too little too late.
As a side note, I'm just happy that the four of us are together.
I know. It's been a hot minute.
I miss you all.
I know. I know. I feel like I'm like at home now, which is ironic because I'm not at my literal home right now. Okay, so point number 5. Kyland and Sarah Beth aren't in a showmance, of course, but they're seen as just as much of a threat and a linked pair as a legit showmance. Kyland's really invested all of his game into Sarah Beth, and it's showing in his desperation to keep her. Where does Kyland go if Sarah Beth leaves? She remains a pretty prominent target in the whole house's eyes, especially Tiffany. I'm really worried about Kyland's position because I feel like Sarah Beth's target level isn't going down anytime soon. I really think out of like my draft team, I think she's like easily the first one to go. And then like, where does Kyland go? Because he has really fumbled like connecting with anybody else in the house.
Yeah.
Kyland has got that other alliance, the cookout, right? If it lasts.
But
but just for me, I just think Kyland's okay. If Sarah Beth goes, she goes. However, to me, it's more of a threat when it's a twosome that's not romantically. Because, I mean, romance is a showmance. You know, it is what it is. It's a showmance. But when you're like a real team, like you're really going to stick together. You know, I'm not saying a showmance well, because we've seen time and time again, Holly and Jackson and others, they go to the final 2. But I feel like he would be okay. I think Sarah Beth could be really hurting his game. Am I wrong to say that?
No, totally. Like before he got
she
really
needs
close
to go to
Sarah
help
Beth.
him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and go ahead, Matt.
I think one of the two of them needs to go soon for either one of them to have any success at winning this. I think the longer the two of them are still in the game together, the chances of either of them winning the game drop dramatically.
I think honestly, something that would be really smart. This is the group that I think needs to come together in this next week. Kyland and Sarah Beth, Derrick X and Hannah, Alyssa. Put those 5 together, and you've got people who understand different aspects of the house and also have an incentive to work with people who would be targeting couples or has been the most recent victim of that and who might be feeling a little bit alone.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Especially with Alyssa.
Alyssa does not trust Sarah Beth at all anymore.
Not at all.
And it's never going to happen.
But that would be the smartest group to come together. Now, the 6th person that you'd include in that is Xavier, but that's not going to happen either. As a side note, I can't wait to see if something happens with Alyssa and Xavier now that Christian's out of the house.
It could. So speaking of Xavier, Point number 6. I think Xavier is in the best spot in the whole house after Christian is gone tonight. It really frees him up from the threat of the Kings as a powerful group of 4 in this game. And he's really not on anybody's radar here. And I also feel that like now that Christian is gone, he's a really valuable person for a lot of little different groups to really want to like pick up. And I feel like Xavier has done a good enough job with pretty much everybody in the house that they can see him as like, oh, wait, like, why don't we try to pick up Xavier here? I feel like he's in a really powerful, like, pivotal swing position that's not as, like, dangerous and, like, visually threatening as, like, 3 Jokers together. Does that make sense?
Yes. This is like reading Rainbow. I'm going to read number 7.
Okay.
I'm going to read it. I think
Yeah, number 7's interesting.
I think it's more fun when Allison reads. Isn't it?
That's debatable.
You never know what
I'm just having fun.
Turning words into. Claire, number 7. Claire is starting to draw dead to me. What? Claire is starting to draw dead to me in terms of win equity. I'm pretty sure she has the cookout identified correctly, but there's not really anything she can do about it. Her number 1 is Tiffany, who wants Claire gone within the next 2 to 3 rounds. I've said on MWM for 2 weeks now that she really needs to get closer with DX, and she had the perfect opportunity to this week with him as HOH, but I don't feel she's most loyal to him by any means. She just doesn't have any good solid allies. She's all strategy and her reads are correct, but unfortunately, loves that word, she's lacking social skills big time to get anything she needs accomplished done.
If she was smart, she would
Isn't that more fun?
Get with Alyssa this week.
Yeah.
She needs to like pick up somebody. And
Alyssa's
like,
the best person to pick up this week.
Totally. I really think Claire needs to win HOH soon, like very, very soon, to start like shaking up things in this game. She had a conversation with Derrick X where she identified like all 6 members of the cookout. I think that she like has this figured out. She was telling Derrick X, she was like, I see Hannah, Tiffany, Azah, Derrick F, Xavier, Kyland, all 6 of those people talking a lot of game together. So I feel like she like has her pulse correctly on like the read of the house, but the problem is her number 1 is Tiffany, who like, and Tiffany like knows that Claire is like very, very smart and probably has this shit figured out. And so Tiffany has like really been putting in a lot of work to like just lay seeds of doubt that like Claire needs to go within the next like 2 or 3 rounds.
I just noticed, Tyler.
What?
We have a 5th returnee tonight. The tank top.
I love whenever I talk strategy, Allison just like totally ignores what I say.
I was listening, but then I was looking at you.
Like,
I'm looking at you. I'm taking it in. I'm really letting you inside me. And I'm noticing the tank top is on.
Wow. Yeah.
Things I never thought I would hear in my lifetime.
Matt, I need that process behind you. my skin's getting a little itchy here.
That was fire.
Well, I'm wearing a tank top because I didn't plan on being on the show tonight, but I just love you all so much I couldn't help myself.
Number 8. Hannah's position in the game has drastically improved with Tiffany wanting to take her to final 2. Nobody's really targeting her.
Yeah, I mean, like Beth said that, like Beth said that she's in a good position, and I agree with that. I think that she has really made a lot of inroads. Do I think it's really her that did it? No, I think it's Tiffany that did it. But you know, that doesn't matter. Like what matters is that like people want her around. Whereas like 2 weeks ago, like everybody wanted Hannah gone. So she's doing something right.
Yeah, and like no one's really Hannah who? I'm gonna start wearing pigtails in my hair. What do you think?
Hannah looks so cute. Like, can we just say that? Like, she is like I
should start like what I can do and just.
You should.
Look. Isn't it cute?
Cute.
It's very like Harley Quinn. which I know is your favorite.
Oh, that's my. I just want you guys to know there's 11 of these. Number 9. Number 9. I feel like Azah and DF are just ... not understanding the game. They think the cookout looking after each other has granted them a 2-month vacation before they have to start doing any strategizing or competing. Azah, in particular, just really seems like she's not enjoying her time in the BB house and feels really uninterested in playing the game. It's all emotion for her. And do I feel like doing this? Nah, vibes.
Yeah, I just feel like Azah is just like Derrick X. Or Derrick F. I can say like at least I think like wants to be there, but I think that Azah is just like really not enjoying her Big Brother experience.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's like, why is she there? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, except she stirred the pot tonight with the HOH thing, but still, it's kind of like, what am I doing here? I just,
Here's what I'll say about Azah. I think she realized her original plan was to come in hot. And I think she realized she had to switch her strategy. And so coming in very cold might actually be the right move for her. Because of the cookout, she might be on the bottom of it, but she's not the target of that group.
She'll be the black star,
She's probably the person with the least target on her back of that cookout group. If you include Hannah as a full-time member.
I think this is a great comment from Joseph. She hides behind the team twist. I think that's very true.
And now and we need to talk about the new twist, the game thing that's coming up. But let's finish these real quick. We got 10. I'm going to read 10 and 11 together. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I'm going to read 10 and 11 together because Allison wants to deep dive into this new high roller room.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too.
Number 10 and 11. Not sure where Alyssa goes after Christian leaves, but I'm very interested. She has a pretty good grasp on the game. She just sadly chose spending all of her time in a showmance over building bonds with people. Unlike Xavier as a free agent, I feel like Alyssa will just be targeted soon as an easy week for someone. Number 11, very proud of Brittany for winning this veto ! It's given her a little agency in this game and makes people start to doubt putting her up as a pawn again.
Yeah, very, very proud of Brittany for winning that competition.
Me too.
It looked like she like stuck her finger in an electric socket when she was doing that.
That whole thing. I'm like, dude, I would be rocking it, and I was sitting there. Am I the only one? I know I'm not the only one watching this competition while they're doing their heads, and I found myself sitting here doing this. I was doing it too. I was like, my head was going side to side while they were doing it. It's crazy, It's like when you're watching a movie and everyone's happy, and you kind of find yourself sitting there smiling really big, like, am I the only one? Okay. Anyway,
I heard awkward silence.
I was just rereading the twist because it's very complicated.
Tank top.
Okay, so the new twist is coming. They introduced it tonight. The High Roller Room, which is 3 unique casino games and 3 game-changing powers. So Julie briefly explained what the 3 powers are. So one of them is removing yourself off the block. Number 2 is a second veto. Which I like. That's very like fun in my opinion to like have like a second veto to hold on to whenever. And then number 3, she just basically said like changing the power in this game to your own. So maybe that's like stealing an HOH's
That's
noms.
what I think.
I think it's the coup d'etat.
Like the hex.
She's hitting it that we haven't.
I hope not. That's way too powerful.
Didn't Jennifer or Jessica? I can't remember which one. Her name.
That was the whole
it's
thing.
when you overthrow the
Halting
HOH,
hex.
become the HOH, and assume all of their power.
And that is on eviction night. That is right before it's time to vote.
Do they then get to also compete for the next HOH?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's so OP, Beth. Like the last time they did this was Big Brother 11 when Jeff won it.
But think about how amazing that would be in this particular season with so many dynamics.
I'd be pissed if it
was a BB23. It also would have been pretty or 22. I mean, it also would have been amazing because, like, imagine if that had been the time that like Davon won the power. Like, I feel like modern Big Brother could actually really benefit from a coup d'etat.
I feel like this might be the season that would benefit from a coup.
Yeah,
because it would force everyone to play their cards.
Yeah, that's true.
If you won the coup and you didn't tell anyone you won it, and you're like, surprise, it's eviction night, I'm changing everything.
That would be my luck. But Matthew, wouldn't it be my luck if I finally, after 20-something years, made it on Big Brother? It's my HOH. I made a big move. I'm backdooring someone. It's just going to go down. Everyone's going crazy on the feeds. It's insane. I'm getting someone out. I'm making that big move I've been trying to make for 22 years. And then Julie Chen comes on and says, surprise, house guests. Will Tyler please stand up and make an announcement? And then fucking Tyler Lyons stands up and says, I have the Kunga Twat hexing spell thingy. And guess what? You're no longer HOH. And guess what? These are no longer your nominees. As a matter of fact, they're safe. And I get to pick 2 more nominees. And there ain't going to be no veto. And we get to vote right now, biatch.
I would not use it just on principle that like I think it's like so overpowered. Like this is what caused Shima to quit or expel herself from the game.
Was she HOH when she got and then it got stolen and then the next week is when she threw the mic in the pool?
Yeah, she said this is not fair. Like what am I playing for?
Pool. She threw it in the pool. She was throwing shit in the pool. It was the first time I think it had ever really happened.
Yeah, because Mike Boogie won it in All Stars, but he didn't use it.
Yeah, but she was throwing shit in the pool, and they just were like,
I would too.
When you get a coup d'etat, if you're going to have all of that power, what they need to do is tweak it. And it's one of those situations where you have to like do something, but you get also some negative stuff too. If you're going to do all that positive, the negative then is the current HOH gets 2 weeks of safety and gets to name one of the nominees next week or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
some kind of balance.
I think the HOH can't be nominated. The overthrown HOH can't be nominated.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Give them 2 weeks of safety.
Yeah.
And also can't be nominated for the week that you get the coup d'etat.
But that's not one. But that's not one of the options from the high roller room, right?
I think that's the third one she was hinting at.
Okay.
Where you can shift the power of like HOH away that she was talking about.
I think we should have a reading Rainbow Corner every week where Allison reads Tyler's 5 points of the week.
Is that my limit? 5 instead of
You
11?
only get 5. We're not doing 11 again. You get 5 and Allison gets to read them in my ASMR.
Listen, I just want to make sure that like we cover like all of our bases with talking about every player left in this game because this is a very important and like strategically complex season.
I have really something important to say, people.
Oh boy.
There's a 12th point that we haven't talked about that's really important. Tyler looks really good tonight.
Tyler is rocking the tank top. Matthew's got a great haircut. He looks amazing.
He does. I said that in the chat, Matt. Your haircut looks really good.
It's the first thing I said. He had the cutest. He had his cute little puppy Asher, and then Asher had to be put away. Yeah. And then when Allison was mean and she didn't let me come on the camera so I could say hi to a puppy, but that's okay. She didn't see me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But then I got to come on, and the first thing I said was not about Matthew's cute puppy. I said, "Oh my God, Matthew, you look so handsome with that haircut, and your beard looks great." And I truly mean this. But everyone's just looking beautiful tonight. I'm here for this. You're really making my bi-romantic heart just look flutter tonight.
You look really good in that hoodie, Beth.
Okay.
I got my baby poop colored shirt on.
Your what?
This is the color of baby poop when a baby is born.
No, I thought you said baby pooch. No. I was like, what?
That's a puppy.
I didn't know what you were saying.
That's a puppy. No. You're a mother. You know good and goddamn well That baby's poop is like tar black.
Yeah, but sometimes it looks like this color after they've had like food.
It's called spit up.
Listen, I'm about to be wearing a lot of spit up colored clothes because this kid, if he's anything like his father, it's going to be like Exorcist 24/7 out of his ass and his mouth.
Nice. So let's talk about who we think will get the top 3 vote getters for this twist. Because so how it works is yes, Allison looks amazing too, but that goes without saying. Allison,
your haircut is one of my favorite hairs I've ever seen on you. That's not
my
what I meant.
hairs. Thank you.
Your individual hairs.
There's a lot of them falling out as we do the show.
Point.
Okay, so everybody gets so none of these twists are like guaranteed to be gotten. Like Julie said, like it's like big risk, big reward. So maybe that is the like if you try to go for the coup d'etat and you don't get it, like maybe you can't compete for like the next 3 HOHs or something.
Or you're on the block as a third nominee.
I think
possible. That would be fun.
I have a feeling the third power, which we're guessing could be a coup d'etat, will cost like $250 to play for. Because she said as the powers get stronger, the price to play will go up.
So do people understand, like if you, okay, I don't know if people know this about me, but I used to not like professionally, not even semi-professionally, but I like to go play poker in poker rooms.
That's how I got my PlayStation.
I love it. And a lot of those places have certain buy-ins, just like they would at a roulette table or any place else that has, they'll always say like what the minimum bet is essentially, right? That's like your buy-in. I guarantee that's how they set it up with this, where they're going to say 100%. Like the buy-in for this first is going to be a minimum of X amount. And so maybe they'll say 50.
Yeah, I think
so you have to spend your entire first week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's good. If they don't start at 50, that's stupid. They need to start at 50 because the people who then budget, and how much do you budget by? Do you only put 5 in and you can't play? You know what I mean? Like, so it's going to be who's playing the first one. And if they're not, how are they budgeting for the second and the third one?
I feel like this is going to be the better version of fire tokens in Survivor of Winners at War. I'm really into this twist, to be honest with you. Like, of course, I have to wait to see like what the actual powers are. But so on Joker's updates, people get to rank like the house guests, like who their favorites are every day, and it's like listed for like every single day since the cast was released. And so for quite a while now, the top 3 people are Derrick X, Claire, and Hannah. So I would assume those 3 are like front runners to be getting the extra currency to be playing for these twists, which is good because I think Claire in particular, like I think really needs something.
I think.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we need to figure out who BB Casual Facebook. Where is my hair tie?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Who are they the ones who, I mean, we all know that they love Christian because, you know, #white man. Yeah. I'm really upset about this. I don't know where my hair
tie went. Let me see.
I've got one, but it's not going to help you.
So all the top comments are rooting for Derrick X.
Okay.
So who do you think's going to get? So this week it'll be 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like Bertini's going to be one of them.
I think Bertini could slip in as one of the 75s.
I really feel
she'll be in the top 3.
Because who doesn't want to root for her? Who are these people?
No, there are definitely a lot of people I think there are people who are way too harsh on her. I think that there are people who don't like her. And that kind of, that's a big distinction between those two. There's a lot of people who just don't want to see her succeed. And they make fun of her too much. And I
don't like those people.
No, I don't like
I also would say if I'm Derrick X, I don't want to be in that top group.
No.
I would like to be in the middle group or not in. I would like to be.
Well, do the house guests know? Like, is it like public?
I have a feeling it's going to be like, hey, these 3 got the 100. These 3 got the 75.
I don't like that. I feel like it should be secret.
I think it will
don't
be
even
a
think anyone
secret.
can keep it a secret in that house. I don't think anyone could keep it a secret that.
What if they tell them like you're not allowed to like say like your currency in the house?
I mean, if this was Big Brother UK, I would believe they could pull that off. Big Brother US, people don't know how to keep their mouth shut. Even when they're told, don't talk, they talk.
Yeah.
Well, that's production's fault.
Well, I got my Anelda, my buddy, my Big Brother buddy, she's constantly giving me Big Brother updates.
Someone won HOH?
In the middle of the,
Wait, someone.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Spoiler. Don't put it in the chat yet. I was going to say really quick, there was almost a flip. Anelda was telling me about it, and the feeds cut. And then it was over. So production does fuck around with this stuff. Okay, if you don't want to know who HOH is, leave now, come back later. This is your out. I'm going to do my dubstep or whatever it's called. My dab. Don't. Okay, get out. All right, who won HOH?
Right now, she's like...
So the HOH is Kyland.
Is this good?
Ooh, it's good for Sarah Beth.
This is really not good for Tiffany.
This is horrible for Tiffany.
This was the worst case scenario for Tiff.
Yeah, I feel like we're in for like a really exciting wild roller coaster week of
Kyland, this is the breakup of the cookout.
Kyland is going to nominate X and Alyssa. I guarantee, because they're the two people who voted for Sarah Beth, and everybody knows it.
That's a really good take, Beth. I like that a lot.
You not had a female HOH?
I think he could give he might give Alyssa a pass just because he knew she couldn't in good conscience vote against Christian, whereas Xavier has, free will. And that's his teammate. Yeah. So like he could easily say, hey, I know the house is against you. I'm not going to vote to save you to save my own game.
But do you think Kyland well, that means if he's not going to put up Alyssa, then he wouldn't put up Xavier, because he's not just going to be like, Xavier, get on the block.
Well, no, but I think he might put up Xavier and Tiffany.
Okay.
I think the cookout, I think he's going to basically say.
I think Sarah Beth would push Tiffany.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too, like Tiffany has done. Sorry, Matt.
He might put up Tiffany and Hannah. If
sorry,
can really push her agenda.
I'm just like bursting at the seams trying to think about this. So like Tiffany has done a lot of like shit talking Sarah Beth on a personal level. In regards to her closeness with Kyland, we're in for a week of people going up to Kyland and telling him that Tiffany has been doing all this.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
I'm not trying to stir the pot, but it's been more than that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's been talking about how she doesn't think
that she's like, bisexual.
Or she doesn't have a spouse and stuff. Just real stuff that I expect more from her.
Honestly, I think Tiffany is gone this week.
I don't know, man.
I can see Tiffany going this week.
I think she's going to get to Kyland. I'm saying it. Don't sleep on her, Derrick F.
I think because of how close Kyland and Sarah Beth is, there is no wiggle room.
I think that they team up with the Jokers.
You think?
I think Kyland and Sarah Beth team up with the Jokers.
Okay.
Who could Tiffany sit up against and be safe?
Who could
Derrick
Tiffany?
X.
If with a Kyland HOH,
Xavier?
Who could he? Do you think Xavier would leave before Tiffany?
I think if Tiffany was up against Xavier, I think Tiffany would leave.
Yeah, no, I'm saying who could Tiffany be sitting next to where she would stay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And not leave. Because I'm thinking of the people who Kyland might nominate. And I think anyone he might nominate, if nominations stay solid.
Who did you nominate last time?
Tiffany leaving.
I could see to answer your question, Matt, I think Alyssa and Derrick X are the two
Frenchie and Brent.
Okay.
Because Kyland was the second HOH.
No, who did he nominate? Brent's gone.
Brent's here.
Ooh, it was the knockout comp.
Frenchie.
Okay.
So
that's what I want. That's what I wanted. I can't wait to watch the shit out of that. This is gonna be amazing.
It was the knockout comp. I will look forward to Sunday, and I will see you on this show Sunday, Ellison, because I will want to talk about that.
Oh my God. If it's I wanted the knockout comp tonight. So everything we're saying now means jack shit until we know who sent who up in order to play that comp.
And if Alpha Target Tiffany cookout dead.
What's the knockout comp again?
It's like where
two people are up against each other. Whoever wins, they say, I want these two to come up.
Yeah. So there could be some unique fallout from this competition that maybe influences Kyland's decision here. But Tiffany and Kyland were really like this at the start of this game. And then once Kyland started getting close to Sarah Beth, that put such a wrench in all of Tiffany's plans, right? And she really started to see him as a threat. And she hasn't been quiet about it either. Like there was maybe 2 weeks ago, Kyland went up to Tiffany and was like, "Hey, can we study the days together? I'm just really not sure, and I know that you really know your stuff." And she's like, "Well, why don't you ask Sarah Beth to do it with you?"
Oh yeah, damn.
So she's not being subtle about it, even directly to his face. And this is why I think Tiffany is more a Vanessa than a Dan Giesling, because she's just so emotional in all of her erratic behavior, and it's really fun to watch and watch her maneuver all of these things. But it's gonna come back and bite you.
Well, speaking of which, this Sunday, we have a special Sunday show. We have Frenchie coming on with us this Sunday, live after the show, the regularly aired Sunday show. We have Frenchie French coming on with us, and we're going to recap the episode real quick, and we're going to ask questions. If you're a patron, send patron questions in, and we will ask the questions. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a light show. We're not personally attacking anybody. It's going to be fun, because that's what we're about over here.
Yeah.
It's fun. So that'll be a great show. I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see what Kyland does. When are nominations? Tomorrow? We should know, or Saturday.
Saturday.
Off slightly because they're going to do this high roller thing.
That's true.
I think the high roller comp or whatever, however they structure it, will have to precede nominations. And because they're waiting for America to vote.
Yeah, exactly, Matt.
Okay.
I think nominations might be put off by a day or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anything else?
I'm excited to see a Kyland HOH and how the knockout comp played out.
I think if Tiffany is the first juror, she is going to be so influential to whoever wins this game. She is really going to be setting the tone of the conversation for every person coming into the jury. So that's really something to keep in mind too. If Kyland does want to take this shot at Tiffany, he's going to really have a tough road ahead of him if once he gets to final two, because Tiffany's going to be spending all summer long talking about how Kyland betrayed her. Kyland wasn't loyal to the cookout. Derrick F and Azah are certainly not going to like that argument. So I don't know. Just proceed with caution, Kyland. That's all I say. Think about the long term instead of the short term. We were just talking about that with Derrick F this week. So
if he's thinking about the long term, he needs Tiffany gone. The long and the short of it is Tiffany staying in this game is very bad for Kyland.
Do you think Kyland knows that?
Sarah Beth, who is his ally.
Yeah.
And it's gonna keep highlighting the Kyland and Sarah Beth relationship. So the sooner you can get the person who is targeting the other half of your final two out, maybe people will cool the F down.
The question is, does Kyland know that Tiffany is not good for his game, not that he's not good for Tiffany's game?
Yes, I do think that that's on his radar, and I think that's going to come up the most it ever has this week when people are telling him how much Tiffany's been trash talking Sarah Beth. Which maybe that leads Kyland to think okay, maybe Sarah, like, of course, like, I'm going to tell Sarah Beth that she's my final two, but like, I think like his best path at the end probably is with her next to her, or next to him, because if Tiffany is the first juror, the only thing worse than Kyland in the final two is Sarah Beth right along with him.
100%.
So maybe that's his ticket.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens. Okay, guys.
I love all this game theory.
I know this is so much better than the last. I'm so excited because Beth and I and Matthew were talking before you got on with us when the show started that we don't have favorites anymore. Like we just like at this point, I'm fine with anyone who wins.
I'm Team Chaos.
Yeah,
that's just how it was in BB-Can 9 though. Like
I'm like
I feel the same exact way.
That's how I felt in our rewatch of BB-10.
BB-Can 9. They just went back to back at the beginning of jury.
Yeah,
we got annihilated.
I feel like BB-10 had similar things too, where I wasn't really actively rooting for, or against too many people. And I kind of was just like, well, I just want there to be chaos the next week, and they delivered. And I feel like that's what the season's doing right now.
Well, I think I'm actively rooting against someone, but it's not for any really good reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can have like personal favorites and personal like not favorites certainly, but like for these kind of seasons, it's not about like the legacy of a great player. I think we do have a great player in Tiffany that like we can talk about her legacy after the result is in, but like seasons like this are about the ride. They're about like all of these like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like what happens if this person like says this instead of like a steamroll alliance? So that's why I really love like just like talking like all of this strategy to death.
I hated that I couldn't get in my personal
every show.
In the sense that I think any alliance that is more than 4 people is a terrible idea. Like
because it never lasts really.
Matt, I think it's more like an alliance based on identity. Is
right, but
that's why like
I understand like the dynamics of the cookout and like it being based on identity. But anytime you put more than 4 people in a group, all it takes is for one person to say something to someone, and now 5 other people's games are on the line.
Let me finish that thought because I don't want to sound like a racist or anything. Like when it's an identity alliance, right? And I say like this is why like women's alliances never work out, because if you're coming together over
I actually
listen to me.
I think this is going to be a really good point.
Yes,
and I'm here for
thank
the ride.
you. Like when you're coming together based on an identity or like a visual cue instead of like a shared interest, things are going to start diverging like very, very quickly. We see that with Kyland versus Tiffany. We see that with Azah versus Hannah, like not really liking her. There's these like factions because like you're not aligning together for any game level purposes. So like you start to have like different ideas of what's moving forward instead of creating an alliance with a shared interest in mind that like we can shake hands here and say like this is what both of us need to do to get to the end. And that's why like the cookout is a very different structure than like what we've seen. It's why like they don't really care who goes as long as it's not in the cookout. Like did we see the committee last year saying like we don't care who goes as long as it's not the committee? No, they had like a very specific boot order. And they like stuck to that the whole season, where like the cookout is just like, we're good as long as it's not one of us. Like, I feel like it's the Sandra Diaz Twine of like an alliance structure. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Sorry, Allison, I didn't mean to cut you off with that. I just got really in the moment where I was like,
I know what you're going to say.
I really wanted to like finish that thought because like, if I just say like identity, alliances are bad, that's not a good thing. Yes, thank you. But like I want to explain why, and it's why like women's alliances never work either. So
thank you for that commentary.
You're welcome.
I don't know. Well, this is fun. Awkward silences are always good. That means we're done.
Should we do the wrap up with the patron? And
how about you guys become a patriot on Patreon, youtube.com/myweeklymeltdown and give us some questions for Frenchie French, or just be a guest on the show like Matthew here, who's not just a patron. He's a good friend and he's a good part of the show, but he's also a patron, and he comes on here and he helps us, and it's much appreciated. And you can come on anytime we got a slot for you. Subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown on YouTube. You get notifications for when we go live, and also become a subscriber on the Apple Podcasts
Very
and
good.
Spotify.
Yes.
And leave us. And I just want to give a
shout so quickly.
Listen, I want to give a shout out to Christy's $75 cameo for making debuting on Rob Has a Podcast as a person.
Question.
As a question. We take full responsibility for that, because we've been riding that ass for a month now.
Christy's $75 cameo ass. What do you think about the cookout? It was so funny.
I was like, oh my God, because Whitney is only 50, but you could get her message.
She's 25.
She's 50 years old.
She's 25. And you get shipping and handling for your message. Shipping and handling? What are you talking about? You're FedExing me the message? Why can't you just send it here? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I know why Beth is cracking, and I kind of get why Tyler is cracking.
What happened?
Beth is checked out.
Beth's gone. She's been gone for 45 minutes. The scrunchie even was like, fuck this.
Whitney aged 20 years in the Big Brother house.
Oh, well, I would. Yeah.
I would probably age 20 years in the Big Brother house.
She was $50. Is she 45 now?
What if when she got evicted, instead of her walking out the door, Rennie just shows up and has an interview with Julie?
I would love that.
That's how much Whitney's aged in the Big Brother house.
That would be a good replacement.
You better not.
Yeah, ridiculous, inappropriate.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Show's inappropriate. Anyway,
yes.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you Sunday night. I got something in my eye at 8/9 Central.
9/8 Central.
9/8 Central. Fuck, I don't know what time it is.
Thank you, Matt.
Oh, so good.
All right. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye.
Bye.